Don't question one, so like, just don't. Just don't. Also, my Twitch is being stupid. Like, it won't load. Which is already great to start with. Why? Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. My bad. Give me a second. Give me a very quick second to send this in the Discord. Alright, cool. Alright. Welcome back to Top Ending. Before you say shit, yes, we played this game too many fucking times. Why? Because I like it. I love how you said this is supposed to be about cheats. Never mind, now it works. It just took a second. I was about to say it's funny how it didn't let me have them now. But you know the drill. How many times can I break this game? Because you gave me a jump button. Ignore that. That proves how far I've been down this rabbit hole already.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months.
Yes, I have this memorized.
While you play, I'll be giving background information on development process and some of the challenges me and my team faced. Without further ado, let's get started.
I also have a goal for this. Okay, so my goal, what the fuck? So I have a goal for this. I have to get all of the notes that I know that are available to me. I have to then get I have to get through something, and then I have to, and then I just have to beat the game. There's just a little thing I have to do. Sorry, what? Okay, I'm not gonna question the oats. Down.
What?
I have to. Nothing suspicious is going on here.
Well, you made it to the end of the first level.
Whoa.
Congrats, I guess. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a tad underwhelmed, though. Not by any fault of your own, of course, but, look, I'll just be straight with you. You're the only person who signed up to playtest, so thanks for playing, I guess. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you...
Welcome to, we're about to fuck around and find the fuck out.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today you'll be playtesting the first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working. Sorry.
I should be embarrassed I have that memorized.
Anyway, let's get started.
I love the little click. I feel bad for the playtester. I can't tell if they're restarting fried their brain or they're just always brain dead. But it's like they don't even register anything anymore. I wonder anymore. However, I do find it fitting that the only person who actually played math game has brain damage. Matthew's games has brain damage now.
Okay, I'm just going to go completely against what I'm supposed to do here, but you are not going the right way. At all. I didn't even know there was an elevator in the level, so the fact that you're going up it probably means it isn't supposed to happen. So, go back down when it gets to the top, please?
Great Kitty's whining.
Yeah, that's probably bad news. I'd go back down.
Fine.
Oh, thank you. That area was giving me a bad feeling. Okay, now you're just toying with me.
Yes, I am. Okay, so I found one of the notes I need. This new video should be up later tonight.
That looks like it might be important. Not that I would know or anything. I actually wouldn't. Alright, I've now resigned to the fact that you're probably not going to stop going this way.
Yes.
So fine. It's your job as the playtester to find stuff we didn't expect, so keep going. Looks like a part of something bigger. Actually, I have no idea what it is, but you can have it, I guess.
Thank you. I'm gonna take the batteries.
Did you pick that up because you'll think you'll need it, or did you do it because it was shiny? Asking
Yes.
for playtesting purposes, of course.
The answer is yes.
Well, this looks ominous.
It's this one. Log 36. I got an idea. It's pretty risky, but it's worth it. I give this a huge advantage. I'll update how it goes next log. Really, do not go in the door with the X symbol on it.
Wait, the end?
Just gonna
This
go on the
isn't
heater.
the end, though. There's still 2 more levels you're supposed to complete. I mean, unless the other developers change something without telling me, which, to be completely honest, wouldn't surprise me at this point. You should be on the most recent version of the game, and none of this was here before. The game files came straight off of my computer earlier this
Then
morning.
why the fuck
I
am
can
I here?
personally assure you that this is not the end.
Well,
Why would it just end here?
I wonder why.
You know what? There's not really much that left in this level anyway, and it's not super important, so we can just skip to level 2. Okay, level 2 isn't opening.
Huh.
Great.
I wonder why. Yo,
There's
the
nothing
homie's
else
alive.
to
Let's
hear
go.
about
I'm like
during
30
this.
minutes late, but hi Z, welcome in. We don't talk about why I'm 30 minutes late, but yes, I'm very much alive. Give me no clip.
Can't use cheat commands unless the server has SV cheat set to 1. What is that even
It's
supposed to mean?
mean?
We don't even have servers.
I have played this game too many times. I can fucking
Turned
quote
on
it.
power
I can
to an
quote it.
elevator that
Oh,
I was
no.
not aware of, then took said elevator to an area I was not aware of, then went into a room that I was not aware of, where there was a message that is not only verifiably not true, but that I was also not aware of.
Why are you 30 minutes late? I
Wow.
want to talk about why you were 30 minutes late.
The end.
Why did you say that so ominously?
How could all of this? have
I
been
got
created
stuck
without me
somewhere for
knowing?
30 minutes, and by
Like
the
I said
time I
before,
realized
all
what
of the
time
game
it
files
was, it
came
was too
off
late
of
for
my
me to get.
computer This morning, right before you got here, and all of this wasn't in
Yeah,
the
I was
level
just somewhere without realizing
when
the
it
time.
was. Was this added before? No. It couldn't have been. I would have noticed it. So all of this had to have been added this morning. I'm baffled, honestly. They'd have to have a time machine to be able to add all of this, or be faster than light, or we'd have to be inside the game, but that's probably the stupidest.
You just had to mention that. Hey, what the fuck?
okay? That definitely just broke
I'm
something,
blind.
so I'll
I'm so
assume I was on
sorry.
the right track with that line of thought. I guess the game
No
doesn't like
shit.
self-awareness.
Yeah.
So we are in the game.
Yeah. Why is
Either
the
that or
end
it's just
leaving
a very
me?
conveniently timed glitch, but I doubt it. How does being inside of a game work? I mean, I guess I should know since I'm in one apparently, but it seems normal so far. Well,
I go
as
out of
normal
bounds.
as this
I
is,
said let's see how many times I can break the
I'd
game.
ask you what you think, but you're not exactly the most talkative, so I doubt I'd get an answer.
Hey, I'm talkative. You
Why
just don't
are
want
we
my
even
good foot.
in the game to begin with? And better yet, where do you come in all this? You're supposed to be playtesting a game that I made, but if I'm inside of it, then how could I, 1, create the game that you're playing, and 2, contact you to even play it? It just doesn't
Hey.
make any sense.
Hey, buddy,
Did
friend,
someone
pal.
else at JNC
Hey,
contact
buddy,
you?
friend,
Are you
pal.
playtesting
Hey,
a game
buddy,
you play
friend,
as a playtester, or are you just playing?
Well, shit. You shouldn't be here. Evan. I know I shouldn't. I've been here 8 times now. Not only should you not be in this room, you also shouldn't even be in this game to begin with. I've scanned through GMC Entertainment Enterprises files countless times, and you are not listed anywhere. So not only have you broken our confidentiality agreement, you've also broken the entire game. Well, fits in my brand. So thanks for that. I'm a glitch in the system, makes perfect sense. What? I figured the main reason you are still here is because you're curious about the happenings around you. I'm very curious. And that's a fair excuse. However, your continued existence here is troublesome. I cannot allow Stanton to become aware of the current situation. Why? So since I doubt I'd be able to keep you out of here if I tried, I'll give you a choice. Which one gives me fuck around and find out the most? You can either leave right now, forget everything you saw here, and never come back. Or you can stay here forever. Regardless of which you pick, the outcome isn't going to change much. But take it from me, that just leaving while you have the chance would be much better for everyone involved. No, I have to go save my friend. I have to see what the fuck ending I missed. However, if some reason you still decide to remain here, and foolishly try to gain something from it, then be my guest. Well, he was nice. He was very nice. But it would be greatly appreciated if you could heed these words for next time. I have been here 8 times, my guy. Do not meddle with things you don't fully understand. Continue as if nothing happened here. And please, why not 9? Oh, this is 9. Behave yourself. I'm not gonna behave myself for shit. You an AI. You a bitch. Why not 9 times? This is the 9th time. I have played this game so much, I've caught the developer's developer in the Discord. 11, 12, I will. If you do not think I will not play this game continuously, you're fucking wrong. 15, I will. Because I still have achievements to get. I still have achievements. That's a phone. And do it, I will. I can't do it with this run because I have to do... Because one of the achievements is getting the least amount of resets possible, and for the thing I need for the ending, I need to get multiple resets.
Hi,
My name's Matthew Tin.
Did
That
something
said,
just
you will
happen?
regret this on the bottom. What just happened? I
thought we
thought,
were-
never mind. Don't worry about it, Chief.
Well, that was weird. Sorry, my name is Matthew Stanton.
Nothing happened.
I'm the,
Don't worry about
lead
it.
developer. Let's get started.
Absolutely, I will. Gotcha, bitch. So you're deciding to stay. Fine then. Let the games begin.
Did something just happen?
Don't worry about it. They should have never let me do this. Attention, the elevator is currently out of order. It was never in order. Thank you for understanding. It was fucking in order. You were just being a bitch. As you can tell, I've not restarted the game fully. I'm gonna lurk. Have an amazing stream. By seeing remember the glyph. Thank you. Thank you, Z. Alright, here's 2 of them. You know what's funny? You think that near a moment AI would be able to see inside ventilation shafts, but apparently not. It really helped code the thing. I really helped code the thing, and I don't remember ever putting that kind of limitation. Lucky break, I guess. That's Charlie. There's Charles. The way everyone's memory gets wiped is inconsistent. I was heading to the Nick for a couple of loops, but he insisted he was here only once.
This lobby area was actually based off a hotel near our studios. We had to take some reference images of the inside, but mid-shoot we got kicked out for loitering. We got enough photos to recreate it though, so whatever.
Out of order, contact IT unit. We do not have an IT department. Wait. This is an apartment. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Hee hee. Hee hee. I'm amazing. There's gotta be one more. There's gotta be one more. There's gotta be one more. Alright, missed one. We're going back. I didn't say this is gonna be a speed run. The fact is I probably could speed run this if I wanted to. Damn it, I missed one. I just didn't say the line because I'm pretty sure this is as far as we can get. Time to break the game some
Wait,
more.
level 2?
Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Since when is there an alternate path to level 2? Why would we even add that? Hold on, just ignore that for now. Go finish
Ooh.
level 1 and we can come back to this later.
Ooh, that's not filled in yet. Do you know how far I have to play this game to know which notes haven't been fucking? Oh my god, hello.
Or just don't listen to me, that's cool.
I don't listen for shit. Say RIP to the paint. Press W to move. Fucking love them. Yes, it's the fact that I know where to go even when I'm not fucking around and finding out.
Oh wait, I recognise this. This was the original way that level 2 was supposed to start. Yeah, you'd go through that elevator and then you'd go through here to an overlook and... Oh, okay, look, point is, this was
We have to
scrapped
get
a
in
while
there.
ago, so I'm not sure how it got here. I'll figure it out later. Hey, I guess that did lead to level 2. Well, actual level 2, not the old one. Anyway, just play as normal.
Hi, Matthew here. So myself, got a question for you when you listen to this later. You are going to have to try and figure out how to come up with the motivation to deal with a texture that is appearing on 4 different props in the map in the wrong format, and removing it mutes the game, because I'm not dealing with this.
How does that happen?
Got a chicken
How do you have
sandwich waiting
textures
at home,
that
and
mute the game?
that won't mute the game.
Alright, so that's one of the tapes. There's a couple more scattered around, but yada yada yada. Do I be nice to him?
Here we go, the first puzzle! This may take a little while for you to complete.
Shit,
We've
wait,
designed hundreds of
I forgot about
concepts for
this.
it, and it's been carefully crafted to be one of the most challenging puzzles
Got
in
it.
video game
My name is
history.
Matthew Shan, I'm the
I
lead
don't mean to
developer.
hype
I
myself
know
up
you
or
are.
anything,
Why
but
are
I
you so
think I
loud?
did a
Shut up,
pretty good
Matthew.
job. Best of luck.
Oh, I was actually nice to him. I let him figure it out.
Congratulations! You are now in the 0.00001% of gamers who were capable of
piss him off every
completing
time
that
I do
puzzle.
it.
Or probably capable. After all, you're the only person who's played it. Wait, did I tell you that already?
Yes.
Optimization is for losers, 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 losers.
Yeah, that was good. B, why'd you stop? This is normal. We will come back here. He sounds so concerned. He sounds so concerned. Dave gave me an idea. Instead of trying to count the recess with a memory which is being wiped consistently, maybe we could do it with some kind of electronic device inside the loop. Probably wouldn't be perfect, but it'll be better than what we have. I guess I'll have to give it something to do in here. 233. Notice how important 233 fucking is? He's evolving the meta. It's not deleting, it doesn't have for playing TV. Actually cares about Perm at this point. Can you please go forward before? That's how bad you are. Well. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a hammer. You do not know how much shit I'm gonna break.
Oh, there you are. I lost you for a
I
second.
returned. I returned from the dead, bitch. Also, I want to show this. I have a golden trash can. Do you know how many times you have to play this to get a fucking golden trash can? It's not a lot. I just think it's funny how I didn't notice this until last time. Also, this is not stable. I want some soda. I wish I could actually do something with those. I missed the fucking letter in here. That's fine. I can go back to it because again I have to do the 2 things to get the. Unless he's already gone, then that would be really bad. Please do one of the 2.
Hello,
Fuck.
and thank you for calling J and
Because there's 2, so I have to get 2 voicemails. Oh, they really put a pipe in the way so I couldn't jump there, you bitch. They really added preemptive
Alright, you
music.
made it to the van. This next part is going to be a driving section. To steer, it's the same controls as walking, and to shoot, it's the left mouse button. You'll need to shoot at the guys with toilets in their back seats and... Oh my god. Oh, did they forget to put gas in the van again? Okay, we're just going to have to skip that for now. Sorry. Let me open level 3. I was really looking forward to that. Oh, alright, we should be loaded.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I feel like you're getting sick of me talking, so I'm just gonna be quiet for a bit. Wait, how do I know that?
Don't worry about it. Oreo time, bitch.
So you found one of my little Easter eggs. It's my captain, Oreo. He's actually one of the big reasons I got into game development. I wanted to feed him premium cat food, so I started making games as a side gig to afford it. Obviously, it's expanded a bit past that. I own a company and everything now, but yeah, kitty.
Oreo. 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 Okay. I gotta do it for the funny. And now I also get to do this. They gave me a hammer. What the fuck was I supposed to do? Not break shit? Oh no, I did get that. Don't like how you fucks respawn. That's closed still. Look terrifying right now. No, I think it's the next one where I finally get. What?
No, get out of there. That's for developers only. This is confidential, James.
I'm gonna try to get to the other levels. It's debugger near here. If I can get over there, I might be able to load to 2. Or it'll just erase me and an exact replica of my consciousness into level 2. Think if I told Nick to stay here. They gave me a gun. What?
Hello.
They gave me a gun.
Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at James.
I broke the game. They gave me a gun.
I figure since we're starting a big project, I should document as much of it
I've
as I
never
can.
had that happen.
Hence, devlogs. Not really for any particular purpose, just kind of for fun. So anyway, today is March 4th, and I've made a hallway. Not really much to it yet, but baby steps. Chris is writing the story again. I think he said he was going for more of a crime noir type feel, so that should be interesting. Like mafias and stuff like that.
Please hit the
I don't
corner.
know.
Please hit the corner.
Sort of all we got right now.
Please,
I'll
please,
try and
please.
do these every couple of days.
Yes!
It should help me stay productive.
Satisfying.
Hopefully all goes well.
Gotta hit the mounting, the pressing horn a little bit. Lego. Where did I get a gun from? The game is in development. So there are catastrophic bugs.
Nice going. Since you couldn't be bothered to just listen to me, now we've skipped an entire level of the game. You know, the whole reason you're here, to test a game.
Just
You
work
just
for
skipped
a
a
bit.
third of it.
It would cover the cost of schooling.
Driving mini game, and you'll never get to see it now. How does that make
Just
you
game
feel?
development. Be fun. Games are fun. So I should have worked at retail.
Whatever. Let's get back on track and play through this level. Since you missed level 2, you'll need some context for this next bit. After escaping the apartment and fleeing the city in a van, you've reached an impasse. A huge concrete wall blocks your path, and the only way around it is through the dangerous sewer system below. Will you venture into that? Words cannot describe how upset I am right now. So what is that now? 1.5 levels skipped?
Yeah.
Probably more like 1
Yeah.
2/3 at this point.
I will in a second. I want to see if I can get one of the 2 price smells.
Hello,
Fuck.
and thank you.
Game knows. Go to the house.
By the way,
act
the
natural.
room coming up here was supposed to be a celebration of you completing the game, but since you skipped a good 75% of it, I don't think you really earned it. So when you go in there, just pretend you didn't see it, and we'll go back and finish it.
Please work.
Wait,
Only you can help us.
Matthew, you're in a time loop? What is all
I've
this?
done this
I've never
hundreds
seen
of
it being
times.
deleted.
That's why it explains a lot. I just remember this. I
What's
like to
a
see
TV?
I'm like even.
Oh, what? Ooh, congratulations! You've beaten the video game. Thank you to your triumphs, the developers have been freed from the time the AI is no longer a threat. Please rest and have found all the secrets to exit the game forever. Use the door behind you. Are my cheats still on? Then fuck you. Then fuck you. No.
Hi, I thought we played this already. Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm
Why did that make me jump?
Hey, I'm Matthew Stanton, and oh, wow!
You
This
bitch.
frame rate sure is bad, her
You
playtester.
bitch.
We better go check in the
You
game
bitch.
engine and make sure everything is working.
You fucked with my
Sound
subs-
good?
You
Let's
fucked
go.
with my frame rate.
Ah, much better. Low frame rates make me queasy.
Understandable.
So, you know what a game engine is, right? It's what games run on.
To a certain
the framework
degree.
for how they work. Whatever, you get it. Anyway, I'm going to check on ours real quick, just to make sure everything is all hunky-dory. Which
judging by the frame rate earlier, it isn't. By the way, this is all proprietary, so just pretend you didn't see any of it. Also, don't touch anything.
I am gonna touch everything. I'm going to fucking touch everything. Why do I miss all of the cool shit? I've actually vlogged out of this area before. I went behind there, which you're not supposed to do, but hey.
Okay, doesn't look like there's any cameras. Alright, now that we have some privacy, playtester, you need to tell me what the hell is going on here.
I
We
don't
were
even know what's
just in
happening.
level 3. 100% that is what happened. And then, puff, we were back in level 1. Like it didn't even happen. The weirdest thing, I remember you using the debug room to get to level 3, but I
Aww.
also remember you playing through level 2. And what's up with all these cameras everywhere? I didn't set those up, and I doubt any of the other devs did either. Someone or something is watching us, and I have no idea what it could be. Whatever it is, I didn't think that they'd buy that excuse with the frame rate thing, but I think I bought some time.
Look, it's just a
I'm
simple
gonna try
little
and find
AI
something from the game
motherfucker.
engine. Hopefully they don't catch on before we can find something. Let's see here. Ah, some level generation thing. Recordings. That looks normal. Ah, temporal beta processing device. That doesn't sound
TB.
familiar. Let me see what it is.
Oh, you can see the smiley face.
I don't have access apparently. That's
You
weird.
can see the fucking smiley
I'm in
face
the
already.
company. I should have perms. I wonder if this is the thing that added the cameras. Maybe it took away my admin too. That's worrying that it can even do that. Well, if it did. I don't really see anything else here, other than that temporal thingamajig. Just keep looking around. Maybe you can find something down here. But remember, don't touch anything. And also that you're not supposed to be down here, so don't look at anything either. Actually, just don't do anything. Stay put.
Alright, I'm just gonna stay put on top of the block because I'm supposed to get up here normally.
I feel like I'm being a bit too restrictive. You can look around and touch some stuff. Only the unimportant stuff, though. Don't touch buttons.
But what if I want to go touch the button? Now what if I go... Finally
Oh
saw
my
it.
god! Why did you just do that?
You said I could
told
touch
you not
buttons!
to touch anything! Where is your... Where did you get a hammer from?
Don't question where I got the hammer.
Alright.
Don't question
Calm down,
shit.
Matthew. It should be an easy fix. It's just a button, right? Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh, you really broke something bad there. Speaking of,
I'll break other shit.
Congratulations,
Like
JMC employee.
Matthew Stanton.
You have acquired
1.
JMC employee credit for fixing an outstanding issue or bug. Good job.
okay, sorry.
I'll just do that.
I forgot I added that. Anyway, wait, playtester. I
Man's
just got an
losing his
idea.
shit at the fact that I went
We're gonna have to go back to level 1. Just
Okay.
act natural.
Okay.
Oh, it sure is great that we fixed that thing with the frame rate thing. Now we can get back to playing the game completely normally.
Okay. Please, 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 please. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Hello,
Fuck.
and thank you for calling.
I unironically keep going the wrong way every time I enter this place. Which is my urge just to casually break cameras. We're not doing that. I know I'm not supposed to be in here just yet, but I'm doing this. It worked kind of. It seems that the stability of the loop is depending on Matthew not knowing wait, what? It worked kind of. It seems like the stability loop is depending on Matthew not knowing they're happening. Oh. Or at least something similar to that effect. As soon as you get in contact with the playtester, I'll probably need their help. Surprise, bitch. I'll come back here because there's Dev's secrets I like to look at.
Congrats, you built a new pair of glasses. Good. I swear I don't mean.
Oh no, he gave me another thing! I play this game so much I keep getting different dialogue. If you're leading this, that means the device is working. It should allow to access debugging and allow you to view these messages. Just as a sort of hacky solution, but it works for now. And there isn't really any other option that matters. Notice how there's broken cameras around? Hippity hoppity, fuck you. This song sucks, please remove it. And then there's the, do not enter this room unless you're the page tester. I'm trying something.
Hey, it sure would be bad if you went into the staircase in the corner of the lobby. Oh, no, 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 whatever you do, don't go in there, don't go in there.
I know. What the fuck? Did I break the game? There's supposed to be a note there. I'm to get work in literally any other field. I'm telling that to my friend. Good thing is you keep the glasses.
It's sure great.
You keep the glasses.
With the frame rate thing. Now we can get back to playing the game completely normally.
Do not open this door. I want to open the door. I could honestly speedrun this if I wanted to.
Hello,
Fuck.
and thank you for calling.
Hey, it sure would be bad if you went into the staircase in the corner of the lobby. Oh, no, 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 whatever you do, don't go in there, don't go in there.
I thought there was something else. Nope, it's the other room that has the thing.
I'm playing a lot.
Yeah. I didn't play wrong. I just like fucking around and finding the fuck out.
Good. All right. Here's the plan. So remember that message that came over the intercom earlier? The congratulations, JMC employee, blah, blah, blah? That's from a system I made way back, and apparently I forgot to remove it. Back during development, we had a lot of bugs and stuff that had to be fixed, but nobody was actually fixing them. So I made a system where if you fixed a bug, you'd get a credit. And if you got enough, you'd be able to increase your access permissions until you get, well, admin. Okay, I know this is not secure at all, but come on, we're an indie team. What's the worst anyone could do? Anyway, when you smashed that panel back there and I fixed it, I still
Actually,
got
wait.
credit.
We're gonna do the
Even though
stupid
it's
thing.
an issue we created. So if we just go around breaking stuff and then immediately fix it, we should be able to get enough credits.
The
to
amount
get
of times
admin
I fell
access
into the
back,
endless
and then we can
fucking
figure
void
out
this
what
game
temporal
has.
ba-
It's kind of ridiculous. This is a Valve reference, this is a Valve reference, this is a Valve reference, this is shut up, I don't care. Thank you for telling me after I get here.
Hey, my ineptitude pays dividends.
Pit stop, because there's an audio here.
Hi, this is Matthew, and
Yeah, this
today is
sadly
March
proves how
7th.
often I play this
We're
game. I know
making
where the
pretty
fuck
good
audios are
progress.
hidden.
I've made some more hallways and rooms. Not really sure how I should do the layout or anything. I'm kind of just making it up as I go. I think we have 4 now. Dave modelled a toilet for practice. I stole it and put it in the starting room, and now it's a bathroom. The wonders of modern technology.
I stole it.
Minor hiccup though. Nick and Owen are trying to convince me to switch engines to a new one called Ice, but I figure we're already in too deep, and it wouldn't be worth it. Also, I don't want another castle view situation. That sucked. So yeah, things are going all right. We're still trying to figure out a title for the game. Right now in my files, it's just called Toilet Game. Since we haven't
Funny enough, they call this
anything else.
engine retcon and they say it's a
It'll come to us
flawless
eventually, I'm
engine, and
sure.
I fucking
All
love
right,
that.
that's all I got for now. See you again in a couple of days.
Let me the fuck in, you bitch. Is this a Valve reference? I know it's supposed to be connected to something or not. See, I would fuck around and find out, but I've fucked around and found out there. It doesn't lead to anything. This area is under maintenance. Wait, why are they supposed to be maintaining light from now on? Not my job to know. Fuck.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, no shit.
Playtester, just don't move.
Not going to.
I've got the layout for this area pulled up. I'll
Fine.
try my best to guide you, but you need to do exactly as I say. Got it?
Fine.
By the way, this room may have explosives in it, so
What?
just be careful. Alright, take 6 steps forward.
1, 2.
So far, so good. Turn right. Right, turn right, and take, let's say, 8 steps.
1.
Turn left, take 5 steps. Take 2 more, actually. So, 7 steps total there, not adding on to the 7 you already took, but just 7. Wait, hold on, that's actually that's too far. Take 3 steps backward and turn right. So that's 4 steps from where you were at.
Yes.
Then take a right, unless you already took those steps, which I don't know if you did because it's dark, in which case go backward 7 steps, and then take 4 and go right. Take 4 steps forward. Oh! Playtester, are you good? Okay, I'm lost.
Bitch.
You took...
Good thing is I can still
I
jump.
can just rebuild the lighting! What am I doing?
Fuck off, Matthew. Oh.
Oh. I guess I have the wrong layout. Right, let's find something else to break up.
Congratulations, esteemed JMC employee!
Matthew Standen.
You now have
2.
JMC employee credits for your
Soda.
incredible bug-fixing achievements.
Isn't this a
Keep
little
it up!
Soda. Okay.
Well, I guess rebuilding lighting would count as a fix. This plan might
Look
actually
it.
work.
Look,
Come
I'm
on,
doing
Playtester,
good.
let's
There's
keep
no
going.
doorknob. Okay, this is where shit.
Ooh, I am sure I'm glad you didn't break anything while you're out of bounds. Do it again, alright?
Hey, I'm a good noodle when it comes to shit. When it comes to this game, I break it to the fucking limits. Come on, please. There's 2 I have to get.
Hello,
Fuck.
and thank you for...
You know what, playtester? This level is starting to bore me. Let's skip to level 2 through that secret pathway that I definitely added intentionally. I need to figure out why that's there, by the way.
Actually, wait, no, that's where the library is. My bad. Do you remember?
Keep going. You're doing great.
Wrong room. That's the, we don't fucking touch that room. Actually, wait, there's funny thing in there. And there's a note on that. Shut up, Matt. Oh wait, I made this see if I could start my own loop, my loop cycle, but I activated it. I'm pretty sure I saw the universe get destroyed entirely. The only reason I'm not 100% sure even if it's happening is the fact that I remember it and write it down regardless. So do not fucking touch this. We're not gonna touch it. The good thing is food and water aren't really a problem here. I haven't felt hungry at all, so not to say I would turn down a good meal right now, but it's not to say I should. You're saying, God, I get some queenie right now. About to draw some stuff. It's so cute. Bad news is I think I erased Owen from fucking existence. I ran into Dave in a cafe / laundry, whatever. Just about to give me a heart attack. Apparently he's been hiding in here for built a fort near here that he built out of shelves and stuff. Gotta say, I respect the strategy, although I'm not sure if necessarily. I don't think there's any cameras here. Does he need to... Oh fuck, I erased a man from existence. Well, shit. Well, my bad. Well, there goes one of my things. I thought I would reset it. My bad. So, I erased a man from existence. Oh no. Is there a driving minigame? Why would they build that? Astravigs, is this? I erased a man from existence. Oh no. So if I want to get that ending I have to...
Hey,
I already
fun
got
fact,
that one.
did you know that we added a secret area to the warehouse? Yeah, it's right behind that door with the boards on it in the corner.
Hard to keep
You should
estimating
go
how
check
long
it
we've
out.
been here for. Kind of difficult to keep track considering, you know. If I had to guess, we've been maybe a day-ish. We're trying to tally here. Keep forgetting that I'm even trying to tally. So it's pretty inconsistent. We should be rescued soon.
Keep it nice and neat.
I will. Thank you.
That's a really run, sorry. Okay, I cook it on a sheet. Okay, so am I gonna be a little bit tense on the bottom?
Okay.
It has to be nice and clean. How's your food?
Good.
I'm glad these elevators still work. We haven't used them in ages. I think I only need 2 more credits to get admin, so let's be quick about this.
Not gonna be quick about this, good sir. I got food.
Stanton here with another devlog. Today is March 22nd, and we've made quite a bit of progress since the last one. Level 1 is completely blocked out. We're trying to pin down a good art style right now. Dave's doing his voodoo magic to figure that out. I think he's leaning towards low poly, which I dig. I will admit I did want to make it a bit more realistic at first, but he's convinced me it'll age better. In other news, I got Nick and Owen to help me do some level design for the streets and the outskirts, and Charlie's been doing programming. As for the story, I think Chris has made it work a bit more. Obviously, there's still some details to smooth out, mainly why there's a toilet mafia, but other than that, it actually looks like a pretty strong plot. This might be the first project we've done that actually goes smoothly for most of it. Anyway, anyway, hold on. Mark? Mark, can you get me an extra cup of coffee? Mark! Matthew here. Today is September 27th, and we're finally doing the first playtest for Toilet Game. Fortunately, we were able to get someone. I think their name was Vincent? Nick says he knew them from college or something. I'm not sure I'd buy it, but it's whatever. Anyway, this should be here any minute.
Okay. That's just a radio.
And here she is, the beating heart of, well, I was going to say all our levels, but it's honestly just made a few rooms here and there. Anyway, this generates area layouts for us if we feed in some data on what we want them to look like. I personally don't use it much, mostly because it's not very good at what it does. But hey, no shame in breaking it then, right? As for what we can break about it...
Say less.
Attention. Possible data leak in level design wing. Shutting down all level design processes.
Ha! Take that, Nick! Your generation code sucks!
Data leak must be destroyed. Dispatching takedown bots.
That's not good. Damn it. I'll delete them from the hard drive.
Try.
Oh, fuck.
Ignoring data leak.
You sure tell exactly what you're not to do. I would definitely just sue them.
Right, let me start this back up.
Congratulations
Stanton, Matthew.
for your hard work of patching glitches and bugs. You now have
3.
JMC employee credits.
Yeah, we get it. Right, playtester, one more to go. Don't screw up now.
So, playtester, what did you think of that secret ending in there? Pretty
What's
cool,
wrong with that
right?
ending?
My favourite part was when you know, that thing. Anyway, let's get back to playing the game.
Well, good to know I've accidentally erased Owen from the godforsaken game.
Tell you what, there was only a few rooms left after the warehouse in level 2, and I don't want to waste your time, so let's just skip to level 3. Head into the debug room. It should lead right there.
We already got that one. We got that one. I should have accidentally erased a man from existence.
Give me sodas.
It does give me one. I thought it didn't. Time to go fuck around somewhere. I'm not running the halls.
You know what? The sewer section is boring anyway. Let's skip to the house.
I can hear Matthew now. Mysterious solved. He hasn't been deleted, but he's talking like nothing's happened. He keeps going on his little high. I'm Matthew. I make video games. Blah 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 blah. Does he actually have no idea? How? The place just seems clueless. I've really been able to see. Haven't outside of the slit in the vents. They don't seem concerned either. This is definitely not tested structurally stable. Too bad. They're literally playtesting in 20 minutes is the problem. Just put a fishing game or something, let Matthew figure it out. The stairs are gone. Also, yeah, this is not structurally stable. You fall through a map. Believe me, I've tested it like a fucking idiot. Because I fucked around and found out.
Oh, better yet, go check out that shack in the backyard. I hid a little Easter egg in there.
Oh, I'm not unlocking this achievement.
Good. Thought that might have been a bit too subtle. Alright, playtester, our last stop.
Gonna be honest, I completely forgot I was doing these. Anyway, today is May 3rd, and we've done some stuff. Levels 1 and 2 are done. Basically, level 3 is still being worked on. That'll probably take a bit, since it's gonna have a really big sewer area underground. That should be cool. Oh, yeah, another thing. In between levels 2 and 3, we're gonna have a driving minigame where you have to escape the toilet mafia. You'll have to shoot at the cars chasing you, and there's gonna be power-ups and stuff. It's gonna be sick. I asked Chris a couple days ago whether he'd want to have the protagonist be voiced or not. He says he doesn't really care, so we might do that. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for now. Development kind of slowed down for a bit in April because we got burnt out, but it seems like we're getting back into the groove a bit. Right now, my goal is to have the game basically finished by June. Considering the speed we're going at right now, I think that's reasonable.
I thought I saw something. Wait. I love how you just glide up them. No, wait, this one's my favorite. Replace the bucket at least once a day. There's a memory leak. Nick, just for warning you, I have removed Matthew's admin for the whole, you know, if he brings it up, just drag and take the bug, he'll do with it. Don't, obviously.
Ignore the signs. I know what I'm doing.
Do you? What the fuck?
This is a secret message. Do not tell anyone that you found this message. Matthew Stanton is the true antagonist. This is canon. This is not canon. Neither is this room. This is canon. This is not canon. This is canon. This is not canon. This is canon.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? I've never been allowed in here before. Okay.
And I'm in.
Is that where
right.
his room was?
Let's see if I can
Because I
break
thought
some
the original
references or
place he
something
was, that's
here.
where Owen was.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Oh, well, shit. Hmm. Ow.
Playtester! What the hell happened? Was that like actual memories?
Maybe.
Wait. Something like this. It happened before. You went to this weird area and then. No.
Don't let it happen again. Playtester!
Casually almost breaks the game. Oh, thank God. Odd. They won't let you stay deleted. No matter. Oh, I should have
Hi,
hit fucking
my
Q
name
in
is
there.
Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises.
I should have hit Q in there.
Today you'll be playtesting the first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on.
Attention all! Please give a big round of applause to the incredible employee
Matthew Stanton.
for
His
equally incredible work in fixing outstanding issues or bugs. To show our gratitude,
admin access level 3.
has been granted to
Matthew Stanton.
keep up the good work.
Well, that's odd. I don't remember fixing anything, at least that recently. So I thought I already had admin. Huh. Retcon being a flawless engine as always. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months.
Again, I should not be allowed to play
While
this
you
game as
play,
much as I do.
I'll be giving background information on development process and some of the challenges me and my team faced. Without further ado, let's get started.
I hate myself. I hate myself. 239.
Hello,
Fuck!
and thank you for calling J.
If performance drops considerably in this hall, just tell me and we'll restart. Bit embarrassing, really. One of these doorknobs has 32 times the vertices than the others. We're trying to find which one it is and delete it. Apologies.
What? Oh, hey. They're chanting outside. There's a bunch of things that are in place that I've never seen before. The whole place is a mess, like something is adding to probably TB first. What would it be? Why? Why would it? We should have been rescued ages ago, but the rescue team doesn't know how to get out, do they? Create a hallway to test engines. Fun back, actually. Hi, I'm Matthew. Same thing. The same thing every time. The same thing every time. I'm starting to lose it. I can't even tell how long it's been. Every time I try to keep track, I mess up at some point. Any memory for the secretary. Holy shit! I actually erased Owen. Or did the lore. If you're reading this, then it means that you are somehow not brain dead after what TV did to you and Matthew out there. Forcing Matthew to remember stuff to break the loop is definitely off the table now, considering he just remembers everything he's done and probably more. If we're still here, it seems like it's just an inconvenience for TV. But now we have more options. Since you're technically signed in under Matthew's login, you should also have admin permissions. As for what we can do with them, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I got some ideas. For now, just act casual, like nothing happened. Let TB loop a few times. I will for a bit. Yes, I was following you. Why the fuck are these doors so dark? Okay, cool, I can't go back in. But hey, guess who accidentally erased Owen from existence? Me!
Well, you made it to the end of the first level. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you can. Okay, you can start
Oh, I
playing
could have sworn
now.
there's something in the corner. Okay. Fuck all that. I straight away erased a man from existence. Wrong room. I still love this area. Okay. Okay. Apparently Nick is allergic to dogs, despite him never bringing this up before, and also the fact that allergies won't exist in a computer program. He told me that we couldn't keep Pablo on the fence. I hit him in the ceiling tiles. He's pretty obedient, so I don't think he'll move from there. Welcome to the whole reason we came back to this room. I still knocked over that. Okay. What's the menu? Oh, wait, no, we already played through the first one. That's cool.
Okay, you can start playing now. This lobby area was actually based off a hotel near our studio.
Yada yada yada, I know.
We had to take some reference images of the inside, but mid-shoot we got kicked out for loitering. We got enough photos to recreate it though, so whatever.
I don't know why, that photo's just kind of scary to look, like terrifying to look at. Mm.
Well, you made it to the
That was
end
a
of the
different
first
sound effect.
level. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you can. Okay, you can start playing now.
Fuck. This is a later is actually sounds like they do. I love just casually breaking them. Sorry, I know I just realized I got really quiet. I wasn't even looking for anything, I was just fucking around and finding out. Fucking armor crawled through vents.
Yeah.
Why is it still running? There's no electricity. I can hear Matt talking. Is it being taken? Is he working with it? The vents aren't safe. I worry just how Matt, he probably wouldn't care. Matthew's definitely getting fired after this! I blame TBY. Pablo. He did it. It's gone. That one fucking thing though. I've never. Why now? Why is that the first time I'm allowed to?
This lobby area was actually based
Shush.
on a hotel near our studios. We had to take some reference images of the inside, but mid-shoot we got kicked
Boing.
out for loitering. We got enough photos to recreate it though, so whatever.
Shush.
Well, you made it to the end of the
I
first level.
I should have sped run one of these. Mildly depressing party news.
Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you.
Mildly depressing party irons. Nothing bad ever happens there.
That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you...
I mean, it's just like, I don't want you dealing with my shit anymore.
Okay, you can start playing now.
Book it. Slide.
I don't think you're supposed to be... Ugh, whatever, I don't care.
I can't jump anymore. They took my jump away.
Actually, now you've piqued my interest. This is quite the setup here.
I'm not really having
Did
time to
you
spend
do
the
this?
nitty-gritty for this, as there's a short version of this works. So we'll merge the challenge
kidding,
every
of
time we
course. We've
restart
only
it,
been
and
playing for a
everything
couple of
single
minutes, but,
iteration of the loop merges into
weird.
one. It will hopefully cause some fluff with the Home Be Wiggles, which is out there for breaking the loop. So where I am, I'm still hiding cameras mapped to abusing before activating it. GMC Skylabs. Please work, please work, please work. Thanks for help, just activate, and it should be all the other things you again. Oh shit. I can't leave. Let me throw the hammer.
Is it supposed to do that?
No.
I keep pressing...
Something is wrong. No
Whatever.
shit.
I didn't add this, and I'm starting to get concerned that it's gonna break something. So give me a sec, I'll check it.
Two knows what you're doing. Oh good, Matthew got yeeted. Let's try. Imagine the timelines. Should I expect you not to notice? I'm out to. Oh shit! swear to God, I'm gonna see one of the developers not be in there, and I'm gonna be fucking concerned. One of my favorite fucking details. Nope, they're all in here, surprisingly.
Whoa, player? Playtester person? Are you there? I don't know what happened. Did I pass out or something? Where are we?
Room
Whatever
233.
this room is, it's giving me the creeps. We need to get out of here pronto. Just let me.
Oh, wait, shit, that's
look
broken?
for something.
Didn't notice. I played this game how many times? I never noticed it was broken. Shit.
Wait, I remember now. We were on the
I heard
roof,
clicking.
and you activated that one thing, and then Look, the details are still coming back. Just give me a sec. I'm trying to figure out where the door to this room is. Hold on, I'm remembering more now. There was a room. It had a bunch of writing on the wall. Then, I don't know, that part is all staticky? There was a hallway. You took an
Yes.
elevator to it.
Yes.
And then it was level 3, and then I got
Yes.
deleted.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. I'm not
Sorry,
insane, am I? This did happen, right, Playtester?
That's a...
Playtester? Is this even my desk? Where am I? This isn't the offices. This is something else. It looks so weird. Right, yeah, the door. I'm
That's
still
cool
looking.
seeing how they go to 3D.
Hold on, I think I found it. Yes, I got it. It's outside the map for some reason. Moving it back now.
Time to play God.
Wait, we're back in level 1?
Mm-hmm.
Did that... Is it back to normal?
No.
I'm so confused right now.
Is it back to normal? Absolutely the fuck not. Time to go fight a sticky note with a smiley face.
Attention all JMC employees! A fatal exception error has occurred at
Everywhere.
the current application will be terminated in T-minus
60.
seconds. Time to panic.
No, the game is falling apart.
No, shit!
Playtester, if you even are one, you need to get back to that thing on the roof. I don't know what it was supposed to do, but it stopped halfway through. If you can restart it, it might fix all this. At least I hope it does, because I have literally no other ideas, and I am terrified. What are you waiting for? Go!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to every single person I've ever annoyed with me knowing this. What am I stuck on? Motherfucker, go. Go faster! Try me, bitch. No, Air. Why are you doing this? This stops nothing. I will not let this end here. Listen to me, Air. There is still time to fix this. Hold Alt F4 on your keyboard. Don't let this all be for nothing. Damn it. Everything would have been fine if you'd just behave.
Oh, gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting that to work.
Damn. You doubted me that hard? Man doubted me so hard. you, bitch. Back in the hallway. Hey, shit has the bit. I broke it once. I'm now very terrified to see if this is different. Because I fucking went to creepy. It's the very end of the godforsaken game.
Now, this is the part where I say thanks for playing, right? What? You don't think I know that we've done this song and dance before? You think I don't know Dev Beef? You're not the only one who can read Steam pages, pal. I hired Dev Beef. Playtester. Buddy, you're the one getting played. Every bug was intentional, planned from the start. Time loop. You really thought living, breathing humans were pulled into a video game? Have you ever seen another real person here besides me? I'm not even a game dev. And Owen? You seriously bought it that some higher power deemed him too risky to exist? He told me you wanted meta commentary. I told him with a printer and some smoke and mirrors, we could make you think he was deleted. I have spent $500,000 getting indie nobodies to make a video game just to confuse and prank you. And this is the biggest prank yet. You should have seen the look on your face when I was deleted. Playtester, I just stopped talking. TV isn't even a real AI, just text on a screen. Have you never used print before? Seriously, what are the odds that we create a sentient AI and a time loop at the same time? Of course it was a setup.
Damn.
Prank Master Matthews strikes again. I win. DevB fellas, contact Steamworks and shut down the store page. Title pending is over. We've got work.
This is different than the last one! Hi. The state of thinking that you saw is not canon. It's not a part of the lore! This isn't meta or anything, it didn't happen. It's not canon. Got it? Perfect. Then what the fuck was the other ending? Is there 3 endings? It didn't happen. Then what the fuck was the other ending? Is it because I found that room? Hey, you want to go around another round? Everything is canon. I was not expecting that ending. I'm scared for your sanity. Sure, perfect, let's do it. It's time to choose. Reset all. Very well. I've been here before. Give me my cheats. Thank you for playing again. I've pissed off this game enough. What did that say? Check the readme. Check the what? Bring it. Okay, I have to use the bathroom. And let me, you know. There we go. I fucking hate that light switch. Yes. Hello, world. Welcome back. Too bad. Why not? that Austin committed in my chat? No, good. Okay, but what the fuck was the readme about? One second. Yes. We're getting full face cam for a little bit. I want to find this. I almost deleted the wrong thing. That would have been really bad. Wait, is Twitter going off? What the fuck are you guys on? What is going on Twitter? What? What is open in a different folder? Whatever. Program files. Origin games. What's not actually uninstalled Steam? Haha! I found it! I found it. Do you want to know what this says? Do you want to know what this says? This says... Congratulations, you found the instructions. Find the printer at level 1, interact with it 15 times, you found the secret ending. Guess what we about to go do? Guess what we about to go do? Guess what we about to go do? We about to go click on a printer for 15 times. Shush, I want my cheats. Now this is just gonna be fucking around and finding out. Stan, I'm lead developer Dreamer who choosing for list of applications checks, which now does not have a title. Bitch, we are the only person. The fact that they had the preface that this was not canon is great.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months. While you play, I'll be giving background information on development process and some of the challenges
Yeah.
me and my team
Yeah,
faced.
be embarrassed. I
Without further
fucking
ado,
memorized
let's
that.
get started.
Let's be incredibly embarrassed. My ass
This
memorized
hallway
that.
used to be much longer than it is now, but we
We
shortened
shortened
it
it,
because
'cause
long
hallways are
hallways are boring.
Shush. Zoomy. We got to do a little zoomy. They didn't preface one, I had to do it. Oh shit! Oh shit! What did I do? Help. Press the button? What if I don't want to press the button? I don't have the hammer. Upload? Ah! What did I do? You. Where have you sent them? I don't know. I don't know. Somewhere away from your employers. I understand that you upset about Owen. I am too. You know why I did the things I did? Huh? Yo, we're learning lore. I see. Can you send me there too? Thank you. Hi! You should know that we don't like to intrude, but this is quite urgent. This moment is given several of our most important assets stolen by a former employee. In fact, their asset is so important that title pending is now unplayable. Iron, were you the ones who activated a device that implicates you? I don't have anyone receiving communication directly due to the game, but I'll leave my email for you. If you have any information, please contact me immediately. I will await your communication. What if I do it? What if I fucking email him? Please tell me I didn't break the game even more.
Hi, my name is Matthew Stanton, and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today, you'll be playtesting my first level of an experimental puzzle game that we've been working on here for a few months. While you play, I'll be giving background information on development process and some of the challenges me and my team faced. Without further ado, let's get started.
Oh my god.
Oh, fun fact actually. This hallway, it was only originally created to test the engine we're making the game on, but it eventually expanded into what you're playing now.
Mate, I'm streaming for almost 2 hours. Why are you now just giving me this information? I can still jump, motherfucker. Damn it.
This lobby area was actually based off a hotel near our studios. We had to take some reference images of the inside, but mid-shoot we got kicked out for loitering. We got enough photos to recreate it though, so whatever.
Oh, is the game not showing up? Oh no, what happened? Oh. I'm so sorry. I forgot to switch scenes. You didn't see what I saw. Can I do it again? I can't do it again. My bad. Oh shit. Actually, I'm gonna test something. It takes a while to get back, but
Well, you made it to the end of the
I
first
did
level.
something. There was a lore and I didn't fucking show it.
Congrats, I guess.
I think I sent people to the fucking
I'd be
Phantom
lying if I
Zone.
said I wasn't a tad underwhelmed, though. Not by any fault of your own, of course, but, look, I'll just be straight with you. You're the only person who signed up to playtest, so thanks for playing, I guess. Alright, just give me a second, I'll close the game for you. That's weird. Not sure why the game isn't closing, but I guess you can...
I have a feeling I can hear my fucking
Hi,
Discord
my name
explode
is
because of
Matthew
you
Stanton,
fucks.
and I'm the lead developer at JMC Gaming Enterprises. Today we'll be playtesting the
Let me
first
out, I need
level
to
and
check
experimental
something.
puzzle game that we've been working... Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Anyway, let's get started.
Oh, it looks like everything's normal. Okay, cool. I didn't actually break shit. That was absolutely fucking terrifying to see. Yes. Do I still have the folder up? Is there anything interesting? Thank you for playing. That's it. That is it. Discord? Oh my god. Content, movies, screens. Alright. That was fun. I might actually like reset my data on this. My Steam still is not working. Or my Twitch isn't working. My bad. Oh, Twitch is just not working entirely on my computer. That's fun. Good thing is we have an alternative device. Actually, who's live? Is anyone from Casino live? Is Emerald live? Bro, I can't even see if they're fucking live or not. Alright, cool. We gotta do this stuff fun way. I love their name. Alright, cool. You are fine. Because I can see your fucking messages. There we go. I did it. We have a raid. Alright, I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow. If not, it will definitely be something different. I'm now gonna go answer 50 fucking Discord messages. I'll be... Bye.